Hey there, hobos. How's it going? We are here in the jewel of the heart of the Mediterranean on one of Greece's most beautiful islands, Santorini. We're here for a week to explore the amazing landscape and do as much adventuring as you could shake a Slovakia at. Come with us and let's see what we can find. Efkaristo. Our first stop, we got ourselves a lovely Airbnb in a cave house in Epigonia. This was such a lovely place, away from the bustling centres of Santorini. It had its own little pool here, and also we had loads and loads of cats to keep us company. It was a sweet little place, and just up from here is the small town of Pyrgos. But first, have a little look inside here. This lovely little place. I think we paid about 65 euros a night, and we had 2 nights here. And the lovely host picked us up right at the airport, and it was about a 15-minute drive. As you can see, the house is built into the side of a cave, and some of these cave rocks are pushing through the wall. It was strikingly pretty. Oh, and did I mention that there were a few cats here? We took a short stroll then uphill to this lovely little town of Pyrgos. If you're looking to stay somewhere that's not overly crowded and not top of the range in terms of expense, then Pyrgos was a lovely little town to stay in. We just arrived and we needed to stock up on our food and our Mythos beer. So, morning of our second day, we decided we're going to hike up to the highest mountain in Santorini at 567 meters to see the Prophet Elias lookout point and the beautiful church at the top. Weather is fantastic, no clouds, no rain, just gorgeous sunshine. We came here in the first week of October, just slightly on the shoulder season, and we wasn't disappointed. It certainly wasn't overcrowded with tourists. The weather was still great. It was about 30 degrees every day, a gentle breeze when you were high up hiking, but very, very lovely and manageable. After hiking to the top of the highest mountain, we press on to get to the ancient Thera ruins. Situated on top of Misa Vuno mountain, located in the southeast part of Santorini, and it separates the seaside villages of Perisa and Kamari, and the ruins of this gorgeous ancient city of Thera come in at a height of 365 meters. This wonderful archaeological site of ancient Thera hosted a significant ancient civilization and was considered to be the religious and commercial center of Santorini. So at the end of our second day, we had just enough time to go to a beautiful restaurant called the Metaxa Mas and have some authentic Greek food. It's a lovely 2-day stay. After the Airbnb, we then move on to our hotel called Hotel Mathios, a little further down towards Akrotiri. Here you can see in the background now a great view of the gorgeous caldera, and we actually arrived at our hotel a few hours early. They very nicely let us keep our bags in their hotel reception, and we decided that we were going to take a little walk down to a secret beach called Caldera Beach to get a look firsthand at this wonderful volcanic black sand that everybody's talking about. We had half board in Hotel Mathios, so we had our breakfast and our evening meal, and then when we were out and about adventuring in the daytime, we would try to find some nice tavernas and nice places to eat. It was a great little hotel to stay in, and again, just away from the main city, so it wasn't overly expensive and it wasn't overly busy. Here then, after a short walk, we go to a wonderful restaurant called the Cave of Nikolaos. Again, a taverna built into the side of a hill that has some cave structures protruding from it. Wonderful food, gorgeous weather. The next part of our trip really was one of the highlights of the entire trip. We went to visit the prehistoric site of Akrotiri. It was about €12 each to get in there, but it was absolutely worth it. This former home of the Minoans in 1500 BC was completely covered in ash from the volcanic eruption that pretty much wiped out the Minoans in Santorini and nearby Crete. Akrotiri was a prosperous Minoan settlement, and after Santorini's devastating explosion, the site was covered in layers and layers of this ash, protecting actually its structures and relics for thousands of years. Due to its preservation, both modern researchers and tourists can learn about a culture that was highly developed in terms of trade, art and architecture. It really was one of the highlights of our trip. we decided to take a nice long hike today over to see the amazing Akrotiri Lighthouse, which is one of the most beautiful locations in Santorini and offers visitors amazing views over the Aegean Sea, and in particular you can spot a beautiful sunset here in the evenings. If you can find a space, it's very popular. Built in the 19th century, the lighthouse was created by a French company in 1892, making the lighthouse one of the oldest in all of Greece. The lighthouse ceased operation during World War II. The Greek Navy recommissioned the lighthouse in 1945. On this final part of our first video, we jumped on the bus, which was a very reasonable €2 each way, and we came up to the town of Fira so that we could jump onto a boat ride and have a volcano tour at the center of the caldera. I won't lie, the boat was a little bit crazy and a little bit busy, but you don't tend to mind so much because it's so beautiful there. The sunshine and the gorgeous water, which was this really dark emerald blue color, just so inviting. So I can put up with a little hustle and bustle if it means we get to hike on an actual live volcano. The volcano itself wasn't actually that steep, but the very hot weather and the bristly floor make it a little bit tricky to hike up. So if you do come over here, do wear the appropriate footwear, bring sun cream, a hat and plenty of water. But it does make for a very, very interesting hike. Here, if you look carefully, you can actually see the hot sulfur still coming out of the rocks, signs that the volcano is still partially active. Whatever you do, don't put your hand in that hot steam, because only somebody silly would do that. Yep. Anyway, moving on. It was a very nice part of our trip, but again, just to reiterate that it was a little bit hustle and bustle. You had to pay a few euros when you actually got to the volcano that wasn't included in the boat trip for access to the mountain. But it was very interesting and beautiful, very, very hot though, and hiking even a moderate uphill can be magnified when it's very, very hot. So water, sun cream, footwear, you'll be okay.